Well, gentlemen, coming to you live midway or early in the second quarter, and Sam Howell just brutally missed Diami Brown as wide open as you could possibly get in the NFL, and just missed him for what would have been an easy and needed touchdown for us. So, yeah, that's how tonight's going. Sam Howell's on my fantasy team for this week, and so yeah, terrible start. Few things. One, congrats to Ryan taking Mr. Jaleel McLaughlin off of the waiver wire. He and Luke both bid $11, but Ryan had the priority waiver. And there was a few other people. I think there's three other people that put in for him as well. And congrats to Dylan for the Lions defense, as there was three or four people that put in for him as well. So nice sneaky take from you guys there from a player that other people clearly wanted. Good get. And on to our picks for the week. First up, we have Mac versus myself. Both got a player going tonight. He's got Logan Thomas, and I've got Sam Howell. Massive advantage, Logan Thomas thus far, as Sam Howell has a total of 36 yards, and Logan Thomas has half of them. So not good, and even worse that we missed that wide open touchdown throw. So trouble. Not a good start for me. Bad week to have Justin Herbert on bye, but we will survive and advance. Currently, Mac is projected to beat me by a little over 7 points. Hopefully that Sam Howell on this drive will throw a touchdown to someone else other than Logan Thomas, and we'll see those odds flip a little bit. But this game is going to come down to, one, does Sam Howell improve and get better? Oh, I think he just got picked off. There's a flag. Hopefully it's offsides. Wolf. Tyreek Hill versus Calvin Ridley. Can I survive his receivers? And can he survive the combination of Mark Andrews and Saquon Barkley? It'll be a good game. Both our defenses have decent to okay matchups. As far as our other matchups, I like mine a lot better outside of his quarterback. Like Tua and Tyreek might put up a combined 60 points for him this week as they get the Giants, who have been absolutely awful. But the rest of his team actually has pretty tough matchups as far as defensive wise. And I have players who have medium matchups. So I think it could be fun. It could be a fun little stretch here down to the finish line. Just a reminder as well that there is a London game again this week. The Jaguars, who have been there for a full week already and played there last week, get to host the Bills there this week. So don't miss that 9:30 a.m. start. But I do think this will be a neck-and-neck matchup, but I will take myself to win, but it will not be comfortable. Allen versus Matt. Neither team has anyone going yet. Allen has Mike Evans on bye. We'll see if he makes a switch out there, as he does have an option or two. And once he makes that switch, that'll make their projections pretty much dead even for who's to win. But Matt has the MVP of life and fantasy, Mr. Christian McCaffrey. Also, Kirk Cousins has been a great quarterback fantasy-wise with 300-plus yards in every game except one. Allen has the aforementioned Josh Allen, who might deal with a little bit of issues with traveling to London and then having to face a team that's already been there for a week and has become accustomed to time change and all of that. So could see a little sluggish start out of the Bills there. It's a little betting nugget for you as well, for you gamblers out there. But losing Mike Evans is pretty bad for Allen. It's a big loss. He's got a couple people that are questionable as well. Jamar Chase for Allen surely gets going. Like against, if any team you're going to get your offense right against, surely the Cardinals could be that team. But Joe Burrow looks like a shell of himself currently. I don't know if it's the calf or if he got paid, and so he doesn't think he needs to do anything anymore. Matt needs Darren Waller to exist, or he really needs the Giants offense to exist. He does have Higbee on the bench, though. I am going to pick Matt to win this one. Barrett versus Delwin. Barrett's got one person to play the Commanders defense, which seemed like a great play before this game started, but they might end up negative before this game's over if they don't slow it down and pick up some turnovers and maybe a defensive touchdown. Delwin smartly left Curtis Samuel on the bench. That's looking great right now as he has one reception for a balmy 6 yards. So, again, excellent management by Delwin here. No surprise there. Delwin is projected to win by about 14 as well, which is rocking the Jalen Hurts and DeAndre Swift, the running back quarterback duo. Not something you see all the time, but working quite well. Puka Nakua. Cooper Kupp is practicing again, but he's still not going to be fully back yet. So I think that's still another great strong play for at least another week or two until Cooper Kupp comes back. Barrett, Alvin Kamara was horrible, but he had 13 catches. Yes, that's correct. Last week as a running back, he had 13 receptions. So still had a decent fantasy day-wise thanks to being half PPR. Makes a massive difference for Kamara of actually being relevant last week after that. But their offense looks awful in general. Jordan Addison, for some reason, the Vikings refuse to use. I don't know why. He's looked good in the times they've let him play. He's going to need Travis Kelce, who, of course, dating Taylor Swift. Let's get that out of the way now. We're not going to go into details about that like every other podcast and sports network. But he's going to need Travis Kelce to step it up to have a chance here. Don't see it happening. I'm going to give Delwin the win on this one. Jeffrey versus William. Williams got 2 in play. Justin Fields, great start, 2 touchdowns. Great first half. Starting to look like the quarterback everyone wanted to get out of fantasy. Khalil Herbert doing decent so far. Not a touchdown, but not bad first half for him so far. Definitely William is exceeding his projection so far for how tonight was expected to go. Jeffrey is still projected to win by a little bit. But I do think by the end of this game, William will have a decent total out of those 2 players to make this a competitive matchup. Jeffrey is rocking Anthony Richardson at QB. As long as that dude is healthy and stays upright and actually plays a full game, that looks like that's actually a pretty good fantasy decision. But he is a risk to get knocked out with how much he runs and how he runs at any point in a football game. Breece Hall, they've said that they're finally taking the gloves off, that he's going to be not restricted anymore. So great news for Jeffrey. Bad news, can you trust Zach Wilson to play like he did last week and to continuously make the right decisions and not turn the ball over and actually let the Jets get into scoring position? That part I don't know. David Montgomery, though, is going to have 15 touchdowns again. Lions short down running back. Monroe St. Bounds, questionable. Got some questionables at receiver. Cooper Kupp, he's already put on the lineup, hoping he plays, but he's got some backups in case he doesn't. Let's be a little bold here and take William to pull a massive upset here and get the win despite projections, even with the great start by the Bears. Dylan versus Austin. Austin's got 1 dude in play, Terry McLaurin, obviously. Nothing's gone well for the Commanders yet, and that would mean the same thing for Mr. McLaurin as well. Disappointing season overall for him so far, whether that's because of Sam Howell and how he spreads the ball around or the fact that we sometimes outsmart ourselves rather than playing smart football. He has not been good so far. Austin is starting someone I didn't even know, Gary Brightwell at running back. And he has to. Whoa, woof. That's pretty painful. He really hopes Saquon Barkley doesn't come back for the hope that guy, whoever he is, gets 5 carries. Dylan, only 2-2, but has a good roster. Players have not performed like they should have so far. Could put up a lot of points in a given week, but just hasn't happened yet. Made a great trade with Luke. Got rid of a questionable running back who could be losing his timeshare to Cam Akers, but I'll take Dylan to win this week. Ryan versus the aforementioned Luke. Ryan's got 2 people going, and Luke's got 1 player playing. Wow. Who would have thought there'd be that much fantasy action on a Thursday night game? Ryan, though, has DJ Moore, who we have refused to tackle throughout this game, and actually it's still midway through the second, and he already has 2 touchdowns and 137 receiving yards. Holy smokes. And we just gave up a 3rd and 7 run for a first down. We appear uninterested in playing. But Luke picked up Cole Kmet off the waiver, and he's doing decent for him so far. Not a terrible first half. Ryan also has Jahan Dotson, who has done very little to nothing so far, but doesn't need him to do anything with the way DJ Moore is playing so far this week. And Luke has Jonathan Taylor in the lineup, who's still listed as out. He does have some running backs he can put in should he not play, but you hate to see it. Luke's lineup looks better this week than it has in previous weeks as far as like Devontae Adams actually having Alexander Madison, actually has a decent running backs, but Joe Burrow, again, playing the Cardinals, if there was a week that he was going to be relevant and figure it out and actually have a good game, you'd think it's this one. A little scary, though, from what we've seen so far. Brock Purdy for Ryan, again, not pretty. Ryan's lineup is not up to its usual standards that we see out of Ryan. But Ryan, with DJ Moore going off, is projected to win pretty handily. He's got a great week getting to face Luke. Both these teams are kind of punching bags of the league right now. Sorry, fellas. But I'll take Ryan to win this one due to what Mr. DJ Moore has done so far. Michael versus OP. Both have players, one player playing. Both are running backs. One is the Washington starter who has 10 total yards because we refused to give him the ball for some reason. And then Michael has the Bears' second-string running back who is outperforming the Redskins' starting running back. Not by a ton, but is doing better. By the end of this game, that might actually favor Michael just because it looks like the Bears might be winning. And short week, they might give Roschon a little bit more carries than usual to rest Mr. Khalil Herbert for themselves. But I don't know that either one will do a whole lot. Brian Robinson should outscore him, but with being behind this bad, I don't know that he's going to get a whole lot of opportunities to put up points. Yet another third and short here, and they do the old Eagles push tush, and it looks like they got it. And we might not get the ball back in the whole second quarter. Goodness gracious, we are letting them sustain long drives. Michael with Lamar Jackson finally might get Aaron Jones back. Justin Jefferson, I don't know if Zay Jones is going to play in London this week or not. I don't even know if he didn't fly with them last time. I don't even know if he's over there. Kyle Pitts, every year people think he's going to be good. Continues to disappoint. Michael did pick up Michael Wilson. Way to pick up your namesake there, who had a great week for the Arizona Cardinals. No one had heard of him before that, but had a pretty good week with 2 touchdowns. We'll see if he can recapture some similar magic. OP currently has Keenan Allen in the bye. It's a big loss losing him as he's been amazing so far. But if Odell Beckham actually plays, he's finally practicing. OP might have someone to switch into that slot with him. But overall, this is going to be interesting because Michael is very top heavy, got 3 or 4 absolute studs to play and then some duds, where OP is more middle ground, consistent throughout his whole lineup. We're going to be bold here. We're going to take OP to win this one. It's not going to be pretty, and it's been a terrible start for him, and he's projected to lose from all of that. But I think that OP can get it done and make the comeback. Final one, Rusty versus Derek. What is going on? Rusty's only projected for 52. Neither team has anyone playing, but Rusty only has 5 to play. Quarterback, running back, receiver, and kicker. Oh my, all on bye. He's got 3 Browns. I did not notice that before that. He's got the Browns running back, the receiver, and the kicker. So, and Godwin's, and he's got a bye on his bench. Yeah. No way Dad comes out of this week with a win. That's too many people on bye. He couldn't even pick up people from waivers enough to really make a starting lineup, and he wanted to just by existing. Derek is going to win this week. And hey, we actually made a stop in the end zone. Incredible. That's probably because it was to Mooney and not to DJ Moore. Otherwise, probably would have been caught. But yeah, so Derek will absolutely smash this matchup against Rusty. 5 buys in 1 week. That's pretty tough. Yeah, take the week off, Rusty. Enjoy the loss.